so totally remembered it for
Good evening, weirdos. Welcome to the show that remembers it for you. It's Total Recall. I'm your host, Jethro Bot, and with me, as always, from the land of the Vermontosaurus, is our friend the Wizard. Excellent. How's your week been?
It was awesome.
Yeah,
It
sweet.
was awesome.
Well, this week I saw both The People's Joker and Boy Kills World. So just wanted to throw those two titles out as ones that are in the theater right now. Highly recommend it. Don't keep seeing the same old crap. See new awesome crap, you know? So,
Whereas I went to see live music and saw some old crap.
oh, what live music did you see?
Uli John Roth, who was for all practical purposes, the first guitar player for Scorpions.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I've heard you speak of him before. So he's just doing a lot of like Scorpion songs.
No, it was great because he did two sets. He did an
Mhm.
hour and a half of classical music because he has these special guitars that have extra frets so he can play up really, really high like a violin.
Mm.
And so we got a whole classical set. And then he brought the band out and did some of his solo stuff and a bunch of old Scorpions.
All right.
Because,
Well,
that's what a lot of people were there to hear.
that sounds fantastic. And we could go on and on about music, especially since the new High on Fire came out. But
With a
let's go.
video by our friend.
That's right. So check out the video for that album directed by the always fantastic Phil Mucci. So shout out to him.
And starring the always fantastic Ian McKay.
Yes. So shout out to those guys. They are rad. We love them. And tonight we're going to be talking about another comedy with latex characters. And this one was chosen by our panelist, Bride of Pumpkinhead. We're going to go ahead and bring her out now, and let's have a little bit of prep work here. As how you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Can
no.
hear you
Oh,
loud
good.
and clear. Wonderful.
Great.
Yes. No. What? Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
Those
No
are all the
problem.
words.
Yes. Okay. All right. So this is a movie you remembered from your childhood and you had not revisited. Those are words we love to hear on this show. The ideal, the quintessential total pit. So please just give us a little bit of that memory before you revisit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was a kid, like maybe 10 or so, at least once, possibly more times, when I was at my cousin's house sleeping over, we would watch this movie, Spaced Invaders, and just thought it was so funny and so cool and quoted it and like laughed a lot. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm going to try to turn my
You
mic down.
No, you sound great. You sound great right
Okay.
now. Perfect.
Okay.
No need to
Okay.
whisper. Yeah.
Okay.
But this was like a quote along for you kids?
I mean, when we revisited it,
Mm-hmm.
I found that I did not remember very many lines like I thought I might. So I think maybe there were just a few parts that we really liked that we repeated over and over to each other and just thought that was the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very fond memories of watching this movie with my cousins. It was not a movie that I had access to at home. I had never heard of it. I had never seen it. They were my portal into this world of wonder. So yeah, that's how I came to know it and how it became encoded into my memory.
Awesome. Well, not to make the other panelists feel, a little old, but Laura was 7 years old when this movie came out. So yeah, were your cousins a little older than you? Maybe like, where is that? No,
One
About
of
the
them,
same age? Yeah.
was a couple of years older, and then one was the same age and one was younger. So I can't help you.
Okay. Just wondering. Just curious. All right. We're going to bring out our other panelists now. From Denver, Colorado, we have our very good friend, Empress Buttercup.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Nice to be
Wonderful to hear. Yeah, it's great to have you back. We're going to bring out everyone else too. We need to get into this movie here. Got to talk about these rubber aliens.
Let's
So,
do it. Let's do it. Let's
from
do
beautiful San Diego, here's Barbara Lawrence.
Here I am.
Are you a Scorpions fan by any
No.
chance?
Not
No?
really. That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
it. That's
That's
the
it.
extent
That's
of my
the only- that's
Scorpions
all I know.
knowledge.
it. I had a Scorpions cake for my 14th birthday.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's your
Wow.
favorite Scorpion song?
Oh, probably that one. I'm not really that big of a fan. I think I just was it was cool to be a Scorpions fan when I was 14, you know.
Yeah.
And they had
Yeah.
a really cool logo.
Rock You Like a Hurricane was like the shit, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. It was the bomb. It was the bomb.
Yeah. No, it's after 7. You're good.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Woo!
So yeah, we're here. Boom. Total Recall. Fuck a
Woo.
duck. What's going on, Gravy? Gravy.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
It's our friend Gravy. How are you?
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. What's your favorite Scorpion song?
Whatever the one we were just talking about.
Yeah. Was Round and Round was a Scorpion song, right?
No,
No.
that was
No,
Rat.
that was
Rat.
Rat. That's Rat. Oh,
That's a
I didn't know
of-
that was Rat.
That was Rat.
That was rad.
Okay.
That was
Well, that's
That was
my
a staple
favorite.
of the Gravitron
Yeah.
at every county fair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scorpion and Rat were always battling for your ears in that territory. Everywhere you went.
Gravitron.
Yeah,
Everywhere
they
you
would be later challenged by such upstarts as Skid Row or Poison. But
Yes. Yes.
went. That's right.
that was definitely my breadbasket.
Yeah.
Motley
Europe.
Crue.
Europe,
All the big hair bands, the glam rock bands.
Whitesnake. I was just bragging as a Gen Xer about how we had
Oh, geez.
all of the hair rock, the butt rock. It was great.
So I've got
Yeah.
a question for you younger people. About
There's
Listening.
younger people here.
I'm listening.
compared to me. Compared to me, y'all are all younger. So
Nick
at
is our
your
senior panelist.
fairs, did they give away the Coke mirrors
Oh,
Yeah.
with the bands on it? That was still
Yes.
a thing.
That was
Yeah.
a
Coke
total-
mirrors and
Yep.
the 7-Up distorted 7-Up bottles that were like you could use for bongs. Yeah, absolutely.
You could still
Staples.
get the like a Def Leppard Coke mirror at the Ohio State Fair as recently as 24 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
And roach clips. The feathered roach clips. Let's not forget.
God,
Oh
I-
yeah, feathered roach clips.
I miss feathered.
You
roach
could put them on your
Oh.
nipple. You could clip your roach with it.
You could put them
Hell.
on your nipple, Jeremy. They didn't saw those down or anything. Okay, Don't-
My just no, sir.
just no.
I wanted to say my mirrors at our fairs and particularly the rodeo, because in San Antonio the rodeo was the biggest fair of them all.
Oh, hell yeah.
Our mirrors had Michael Jackson on them. I had like more than one Michael Jackson mirror. I remember.
Well,
I had an
were partying in
AC/DC one.
style.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a good choice.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty bummed when it broke. But yeah, I had an ACTC mirror for a really long time. Won it at the county fair.
Awesome.
El Dorado
Well,
County Fair. Small town county fairs are like, they're legit, man.
Hell
You ever
yeah.
want to see Joe Dirt in real life? Come to the El Dorado
Oh, yeah.
County Fair.
Oh yeah.
Jeff and I spent
And-
a lot of time going to the Delaware County Fair in Ohio, which is home to the Little Brown Jug,
Little brown
which
jug.
is part of the Triple Crown of harness racing.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey,
You want to see some expert harness racing?
our claim to fame was the wheelbarrow races.
Oh,
Uh,
not
All
as
right.
exciting. Well,
you win. You win.
you
And ours was goat.
I'm not sure about that. But you know what else we had? We had a butter sculpture every year. And
Yum.
one year, the butter sculpture was Dave Thomas of Wendy's. And I can't imagine, I cannot imagine.
Triple yum.
Oh my god.
Probably,
That's an image that's gonna be burned into my brain. I don't even see it, but it's like, yeah.
oh, I
In my
Oh, that's-
head,
Life size?
perfect.
Was it life size?
It's a lot of butter.
big.
was, yes.
Oh,
it was a
my.
statue. So they always did a butter cow. And the butter cow is freaking huge.
Still
And
do.
then one year, yeah, and then this one year they decided, you know what? In addition to the butter cow, we just have so much sculpted butter.
Well, it was not uncommon to have a supplemental dedication sculpture along with the cow. There was David Thomas. I believe there was also James Buster Douglas after he knocked out Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
A number of
right.
other
Nice.
great Ohio
Yeah.
celebrities.
yeah.
So
Sorry.
James Buster Douglas was an Ohioan.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, Columbus, Ohio.
I did not know that.
He teaches my son boxing, as a matter of fact.
Mhm.
At
No
a community center. Yep.
Yep.
James Butter Douglas.
That's awesome.
He was, as boxers go, he was a little pudgy. You know, he wasn't. I mean, please don't come to my house and kill me now, Mister.
Well, I mean, so was
I mean it in all due respect,
Yes.
sir.
George Foreman was a little chubbly.
Yeah.
But he
All
drains
right,
the
well-
fat off of all your burgers.
And
And
then,
drinks
yeah.
it.
Smile on his
And
face.
drinks it. Yeah. He makes himself a little greasy martini. Very dirty.
Greasy.
Very dirty.
There's a
Very
little
dirty.
room in my beer glass, and
Yeah.
absolute
still have,
surreal.
I still have a Freddy Krueger poster I got at the fair, and more of a poster person than a mirror person. But I'm trying to do a terrible segue here by saying that probably these guys were on a poster at the fair at some point, right? and now, right? And now we're gonna talk about them.
Hell
Look
yeah.
at
Well
them.
done.
Look at them.
Dying to be at a fair poster.
Oh, you know it.
I hate that my favorite of the aliens is not in that poster.
Oh, which is your favorite?
The,
I bet
the,
I have them.
the Jack Nicholson dude.
No, that's
Oh,
him in
yeah.
the
He's in
center.
the middle.
He's right there in the center.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
him.
there
Yeah.
he is. There's his
Yeah,
jacket.
yeah. He's got
I
the
got-
flight jacket on. Yeah,
I
there he
I
is.
couldn't make out his jacket at 1st
Mhm. Yes.
No.
Yes, these space guys, and there's Jack Nicholson, so there are space impressions. As a matter of fact, the guy next to Jack Nicholson, also wearing glasses, is a German accent. He's doing like a
Doctor
a
Strangelove.
Doctor
Strangelove, yeah, doing a
Strangelove, kinda.
Strangelove, yeah,
Martian German.
Martian
I like the
German.
one guy that has a letter jacket.
Yeah,
The
So,
short one.
so evidently on Mars, we also letter
Oh hell yeah, me
in
too.
high school.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
shame there. That would be a badass Coke mirror.
He was on the Marcity team.
Oh, excellent.
But
Excellent.
oh my God, why is it so loud here? Hang on.
Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there is thunder and lightning going on. So if I suddenly freeze or anything else weird happens, just continue. Just continue.
Oh, it's
All right.
no, but here it's just my dickhead neighbor and his jacked up Camaro.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's only
Yeah.
gonna make this a better stream.
Oh,
Bring 'em
okay.
on.
Well, then I'll
Yeah,
leave
go
it
get
on.
'em. Yeah. All right.
Wait a minute. My husband has a Madonna Coke mirror, and I'm
Oh.
just now finding out about it.
Wow.
What?
Adam's got some answering to do.
Oh my God.
Well, that's
We
exciting.
need to get that out.
Man, we're already learning all sorts of stuff.
All
All
my
right,
high
well.
school treasures vanished.
Yeah,
don't have very
I
many of
actually
mine laying around.
yeah,
Excuse me.
I used to have an Elvira stand up. That was pretty cool. She was hawking.
I
Oh
coolers.
yeah, the Elvira stand up.
Mhm.
I actually
Remember.
bought an Elvira stand up and I gave it to a friend of mine for his birthday because he was such a huge Elvira fan. As am I. I used to go see her do her live review at Not
Mhm.
Scary Farm every year. It was a blast. Absolute perfection.
Mm. Well, I was just thinking maybe they've got weather in Denver right now as well. I don't know. We've lost our Empress. Hopefully she
Oh, no.
returns soon. Yeah. All right. So these guys here, the whole story here is these guys are instructed to continue an invasion from Mars, right? They're actual Martians, right? Wasn't that what they were saying? Or I
Yes.
don't know. But yeah. So, and it apparently, like, they've had such terrible personnel issues in their campaign to, rule the universe that everybody gets one of these robots now, and he will kill you if you don't do a good job. It's kind of a bureaucratic thing.
Sufficiently terrified now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Which they introduced him, and then it seemed like he was absent from the movie.
Yeah, they talk to him every once in a while,
Until
or
the
they
very, very
reference
end.
him like, hey, by the way, just want to remind you, we're trying our best. Please don't kill us.
There's that thing over here.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
very
this was-
menacing.
Yeah. This was like Pumpkinhead's, like one of your favorite scenes was the opening scene. Like you meet everybody at first, and
And you see this guy in action.
yeah, he
it's-
kills.
Yeah, it's another children's movie that opens quite violently that we've watched on Total Recall.
We love it.
Wonderful. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it doesn't just start out with that death. It also starts out with like, okay, this kid in the alien costume. She, her mom
rad
is
alien
dead.
costume.
Yeah, rad
Yeah, it's
alien
awesome.
costume. Her mom is dead. They're in a new town. She doesn't have any friends. She makes friends with this poor kid. And the reason why I say he's a poor kid is because he's in this movie like for over an hour, and he never takes off the beak. You poor bastard! What kind? What
He had
kind
a
of?
poor agent, is what he
Yeah,
had.
yeah,
Can you
Yes,
take off the
he
beak?
did.
No, it's in the contract.
yeah. He has to wear it. Yeah, it's very sad. And you're right. He did have a crappy agent because you look him up on IMDb, he has like bit parts in a few other movies, and that's it. You know, this is like his one lead role, and he's
I
wearing a
hate to
beak the
speak
whole
ill
time.
of a child, but
Yeah, he's
child
not-
actors
It's what
go.
we're
He's
here
not
for.
very good.
His delivery was stilted.
Yes. Yes.
He's no Rick Schroeder.
No, he is no Ricky Schroeder.
Oh man.
Few
That poor
people are,
guy.
Yeah, but they wouldn't
I
let
read-
Ricky take the beak
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. But I did see though at the very end they let him take the beak off. So I did include a picture. There he is, like actually speaking through his actual mouth. And that nice little girl there, it pretty much carries the whole movie. And if you think that maybe you recognize her, it's because she's this lady from Jurassic Park.
Lex.
Yeah.
Yes,
she's
Lex.
Yeah.
She's Lex.
How many,
And she doesn't. What's that?
I wonder how many years in between this movie and Jurassic Park?
Not
Because
very
she's still
many.
pretty. Yeah, because she's still pretty
Only a
young
couple,
in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
She
not very.
2-3 years
Yeah.
maybe.
And what's interesting is, they put and introducing, Ariana, and this is not her, Space Invaders is not her first movie. So it made me wonder if perhaps they shot Space Invaders several years before they actually wound up releasing it, But I don't know if you encountered this, Barbara. There is not a lot of trivia about Space Invaders out there.
No,
there really is
not. I
Not a
looked
lot.
and I really was like, there's nothing out there, man.
Not a lot of interviews.
Nope.
Not a lot of. It's very interesting that a lot of the side characters in this movie, when you look up their IMDb's, they're like
Mhm.
a lot of times they're in makeup or they do voices for cartoons. This movie is full of a lot of people that you just really don't see quite literally, like, yeah.
Yes, the leader of the aliens, the voice actor for him was
Uh-huh.
also the voice of Fleagle from the Banana Splits.
Oh, wow. So he's a little old school. That's cool.
And the Jack Nicholson guy was the only one of the aliens where the little person in the suit actually voiced the alien. He did
Yeah.
his own voice.
Yeah, that's one bit of trivia you can find
Really?
is that the little person actors could not see a damn thing.
Not
in
surprising.
those masks.
Yeah.
And just needed a lot of off-camera assistance and cues in order to get to where they needed to be. And their mouths.
That makes sense because oftentimes, like if you think about it in the movie, they are kind of like clumsy and like bumping
Uh-huh.
into each other and stuff.
Yes.
Like seriously, like it's
Yes, they're frequently just bumping into each other, and their delivery seems really stilted. I had a close-up of one of these guys' mouths here. Where is he? There, yeah. Their mouths are really weird. Like, the way they move is like, and they often seem like kind of a little bit disembodied from the film and from their own dialogue, It's
I'm just
not,
now realizing how much their heads look like watermelons
yeah.
from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also
That's-
They also really reminded
Watermelon.
me of the Trade Federation Viceroy's guys
Oh my
from
gosh.
Oh, yeah.
from Star Wars
Totally.
Episode 1.
Yep.
Without the racist subtext.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a
Yeah,
little
no,
racist.
a little bit.
Maybe a little, but
No. Actually, like that is one area that Space Invaders kind of impressed me is that you expected it to go way more into that, but they did not. They had a German accent of like the Mad Doctor, and that's about as insensitive as it got, really.
Well, I was
unless you're Jack Nicholson.
Right, exactly. Unless you're Jack Nicholson, who
he's just one
like,
man.
I couldn't find out if he had seen this movie. I tried, like.
Might as well
There's
ask him if he's ever seen any Christian Slater movies.
Yeah. Oh, zing! Yeah, this guy, and sometimes it seems like it seemed like he kind of went in and out of John Wayne. It
There
seemed
was
like
some-
sometimes he was doing a little John Wayne.
There was some accent drift for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the goal was to be like kind of a composite of like, the Hollywood cool guy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to throw him a bone here, folks.
Yeah. Well, don't knock yourself out.
Yeah, I won't.
You don't need to throw him a bone. He was the best thing in the movie.
Yeah, it's true.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he gets
He
separated.
carried it.
Yeah. Like he gets separated from the other aliens, and he just hangs out on the ship. And we do have there's a lot of plot. You'd think that there's not a lot of plot, but there's a lot of subplot. Like you got this poor bastard here, and he is like the widower, the father of the daughter, and like he's having a problem.
And the new sheriff in town.
Yeah, he's the new sheriff in town. And then you have, boom, the royal treatment. None other than Royal Dano, who Jeremy and I were like, who do we know him from? As soon as he came on, he just smacked so familiar. And the first thing that came to mind was actually the movie he made like right before this, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And his character in this is almost like the guy saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We're like, hey, Royal, do that for 90 minutes, like the thing you did in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So he has his own subplot where he's about to get kicked off his farm by the douchebag and the seersucker.
The evil banker.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of this It's a Wonderful Life like thrown in,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's all this like just side plot this and side plot that. But yeah, here he is, like they're having this great conversation between them where he's like, so you're gonna kick this grumpy old man off his farm, right? Because I own it now, right? That's always happening in 80s movies. People are always getting kicked off the farm.
All right. So like it's funny because the summary is kind of messy, right? Okay, so it's Halloween in a small Texas town. Meanwhile,
It's not Texas. They're
in Illinois.
Illinois, yeah, Illinois.
Big Bean, Illinois.
That's
Yeah, we
right.
know
Big
Texas.
Big Bean, Illinois. Okay.
Big Bean, yeah, Big Bean.
I think they shot it in
There's a
Texas. That
payoff.
doesn't look
Yeah,
like
'cause
no
they're
Illinois to
they're
me.
growing beans and
Yeah.
corn.
Yeah, growing beans and corn.
There's very little corn in Texas.
Except they're not growing beans and corn, and that's why Royal. God, his name is hard to say.
Well,
why he's
somebody
losing
grew
the
a lot of
farm.
corn because we
Yeah.
had the giant
Popcorn.
popcorn disaster.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They had corn. I don't know. They weren't selling it. I don't know what's going on. And also on the topic of Royal, we were trying to figure out what else we knew him from that he smacks so familiar. He is he has like really great bit parts in a lot of movies, but I think what was really getting to Gravy and I was Something Wicked This Way Comes, which that was
Yeah. That's
He
it.
he is the lightning rod salesman.
Yeah.
And he is raging in that movie. He
Yeah,
is
he's
going
off
nuts.
the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, totally off the rails. So
Unhinged. I love that movie.
that's definitely like what we. And he's a cool actor. He always did interesting projects, and he started out, with like westerns and crime movies. He's in a lot of interesting westerns, but then throughout the 70s, once the westerns kind of out of style, he just continues to like show up in a lot of cool, weird stuff, like Electra Glide in Blue, which Pumpkinhead and I just recently watched.
Ooh.
He was in
Good
The
movie.
Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Another movie full of scenery chewing.
Yeah, he did do like a lot of just like character acting work, which is, I think, fine. I think those are the most interesting actors, is when you find the ones that have just done really solid character work over the years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Royal's one of them. Yeah.
He could, he could clearly do like all kinds of things with that energy. Like, there's all sorts of like places for him to pop up. His last film was a George Romero film, and
Oh, really?
Yes, he plays the graveyard tender. So what do you call those guys? I don't know.
A grave digger?
He's the grave digger. Yeah, he's just a grave digger. There we go. So that was his final
The
film
gravy
role.
digger.
Yeah, he's a gravy digger. So rest in peace, Mr. Dano. You were pretty dang rad. Pretty dang rad.
Ooh, I wish I had another bat squatch. That was tasty.
Mm.
I thought Undertakers were more the guys that sold the.
Yeah, I don't think
Coffins
that's the
and
right
stuff.
word there.
The Undertaker has to prep the
Undertaker?
body, exhume. Prep the body for burial.
Yeah, no, that's the mortician. No, the mortician's the handshaker. I don't know.
We're really getting off track here.
There's a lot of crossover between those jobs.
Yeah, it's an industry. Okay. Yeah, this is the German guy. Another side plot is everyone's favorite character is this really weird, bouncy, jump around dude who's playing Zorro at the gas station. And for some reason, like these guys' technology is really quite astounding. For some reason, he's able to just automatically turn him into a robot. So that's what he does. And as a robot,
they put things on his neck.
Like a mind control type of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a mind control, but he has the strength and the abilities of a robot. He essentially is a robot, It's very,
He's a flesh bot.
Hello, common people.
Common
Thanks
people.
for popping in. We're so glad that you're here to enjoy our banners, such as Pooping in a Hole Danger Noodle. For this movie, I did practical effects aplenty because there really are. They're fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Some great
practical effects are the way to go.
Mm-hmm. And at a release date in 1990, they were right on the cusp. They just barely missed out. So
yeah, they're holding on.
Yeah,
but it's like even if it was made a couple years later with the budget they had, they probably couldn't have afforded the CGI anyway.
It would have been unwatchable
Yeah.
with
Probably.
the
I
CGI
agree.
of the time.
Yeah.
Or any.
Yeah, and
It
I don't
was-
have like, I don't have a lot of good photos of the in-camera effects and like the visual effects, but there's great laser blasts and great lightning and all sorts of just wonderful little touches. And that's one of the nice things about all these like, kind of go nowhere side plots
Yeah.
is that they eventually result in a cool special effect of some sort. Something, something neat to look at. There's a lot of neat special effects stuff in here. And as far as acting, like this guy who played the Zorro turned robot, he was fun. He does a lot of like stunt and makeup work. So he wears makeup a lot. Lots of latex usually, not in this movie.
And our hero,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
And these guys, their whole
I
journey
can't
is
even
just
remember
like
what his character's name was.
I don't
He's
either.
just like Jack Nicholson.
They all had like weird, not especially memorable names. But
Yeah, I don't remember any of their names.
yeah. But they have very weird, interesting faces. We talked about the watermelon connection.
I do like the makeup. I mean, as
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
silly as it is, I do think that they did a really, really good job with the makeup and the prosthetics for all of it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think for the mode of this movie, which is like a little bit silly,
Yeah,
like the costumes, the prosthetics, like don't look too silly. Like they look really good. It works.
it does. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's pulled off.
Yeah, they built a lot of stuff just for one-offs too. Like the opening gag where the one gets destroyed, they built that nice skeleton.
Mhm.
And there was a couple other like just where they had built something just for this one little gag. Trying to think of some other examples, but the skeleton guy, at least, he was pretty cool. I think there was even some stop motion at some point. And the way the mouths worked and all the moving parts in the mask, those eyebrows, their
Mhm.
antenna.
They're very expressive.
Yeah. Even
was-
though they seem really disembodied, it does not seem like they're cool to look at, but
They don't match the physique of the body at all. I mean, it is
No, they don't.
it is a very like you feel bad saying it because they obviously worked really hard and they pulled off a lot of good stuff.
No.
But there is a composite there's a composite issue there. Like the heads don't match the bodies. It's not really proportional. There's not anything else interesting going on
No,
with the
but
body. It really looks like some little dude's wearing a helmet.
It's not proportional, but how often when aliens are depicted are the heads really proportional to the body?
I don't think
I don't
aliens
hate
are
it.
really.
I think there's a
Yeah.
certain suspension of disbelief that you can get by
Oh,
with on this.
Sure,
Totally.
and I think like it is silly, so it's okay. Like it's in this context, it is
Yeah.
funny,
Aliens are
Yeah.
disproportional. Sasquatches are blurry. That's life.
That's just the way things are. Just accept it.
Total recall wisdom.
That's right.
You're gonna learn it all
Yeah.
here, folks.
Yeah, and they all, had nice outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they built this thing just for this ridiculous gag here, and then they have this robot thing,
Yeah,
and,
he's
and I
neat.
think he did have some stop motion stuff, and
And
you're
also,
spending this.
one of my favorite characters.
I like
Yeah.
this character.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
And you're spending this whole movie with kids, with latex characters, with like halfway sort of adult jokes. And, everyone was like really worried as to whether or not there's going to be any sexual tension with the puppet. And then you get through pretty much the whole movie without
That
any
was
sexual
any
tension.
sexual
with the
tension.
puppet.
Between
Then what the
puppets.
fuck? What the fuck do they do?
Yeah.
What do they do? She starts breaking up with the robot.
Yeah.
I think it's more. I don't know that it's that. I think it's more like she's treating it like a dog, like a pet, maybe.
Oh, I
I
thought you were
hope
going to
so.
say
I
like
hope
it's
it's
not a
not
puppet,
like-
it's a robot, so it's not exactly the same thing.
Oh no, but yeah, it's it's weird. Like, because doesn't she say like it's she gives some like kind of like breakup. So,
Yeah, the robot doesn't have like he talks in little, like squeaks and beeps and stuff. So you can kind of fill in whatever you want that he's saying or that it's saying. I don't know that it has a gender.
I don't want to gender the robot. I don't want to misgender the robot.
it's not. Yeah,
It's a robot.
It's never discussed.
Right.
Very progressive.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, that scene where she's like, I mean, does she say it's not me, it's you, it's not you, it's me,
Something
or
like that.
something
Yeah, it's not you, it's
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
that's breakup language. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they leave very little. I mean, the points you have to connect in your mind are very close together.
He wanted to stay with her forever. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, but really, it's just one more side plot. Not unlike the mayor who is wearing like a Hulk Hogan the Wizard costume.
Oh, that was weird. That was awful.
Yeah.
I could have lived
I
my
love
whole
that.
life.
Yeah,
without
I
doing
never
that.
figured out what he was going for.
His costume. Yeah, I wish I had a photo of that costume because
'Cause his
that
costume did not match his facial.
yeah,
hair.
that was very strange. And then he had a girlfriend that he bossed around who was in a mummy outfit, so they're not even a couple's costume, unless for
No.
some reason. And she also is like the only person who, no matter how frightened the entire town got, still stuck to her costume gag. She
Yeah.
was still doing the mummy the whole time.
That was great.
She was like, well, I know everyone's afraid for their life and we're becoming an angry mob, but I'm only going to wear this mummy outfit once. I'm getting all the mileage I can out of it.
Oh, Adam's making fun of her haircut.
Oh, well.
Yeah, the jerk land baron did have the best line in the movie, though. He pulled in the gas station. He's like, I've got a hot woman and a cold beer, and I want to keep them both that way. And I'm like, all right, I like this guy. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, it's
Just like ridiculous. Like, who the hell writes that?
it's close. I mean, yeah, there are not very many lines in this movie that just come flying out, that have like,
No,
sort of
no.
like bite or swift pace to them. Like there's some jokes fall flat. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Most of them.
Most of them, yeah. I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you were a kid seeing it, like Laura was, if maybe as a kid seeing it, it's probably might be a bit more funny. As an adult, yeah, it really does fall flat on a lot of things.
Yeah, reading the letterboxd reviews, that seemed to be the experience of a lot of people who had seen it as kids and loved it, and then came back to it and were like, I want to die. It's awful.
Oh no. Hey, I did want to
Wow.
talk about like there was I thought this movie had a little bit of spunk to it when it first started out. I really did. I think my favorite plot development is the fact that these kind of doofus aliens like somehow catch on a rebroadcasting of Orson Welles' The War of the Worlds and
Mhm.
are convinced that, oh crap, that's where we're supposed to be to fight the war. We're
Yeah,
supposed to be invading Earth, and this is how they actually ended up like in Earth. I thought that was actually really clever, and I think the movie started with a lot of spirit. I liked the introduction of the supervisor robot and this little group of misfits and how they pick up on this rebroadcasting of the War of the Worlds. They end up at Earth, and it's really kind of goofy fun there for a minute. It is, to me, it is like not a coincidence that as soon as the broadcast is over, for me, the movie really falls off. Like
Yeah.
and it's almost like they had this really inspired kind of idea of like this great first act, and then after that, it really fell flat.
yeah.
Like
It is a good concept.
mhm.
It is a fun concept.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I think as we're talking about it, there are all of these like zany, fun aspects to where it sounds like this should be so fun no matter what.
Yeah.
And it just the actual experience though doesn't live up to what it could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really rough.
Well, we are going to be voting on it, but before we do that, we kind of try and make sure we don't miss any loose ends that we want to talk about here. And there is actually a connection, perhaps, between this movie and
Real Genius.
a cartoon character. Well, yes, Real Genius. They saw that because they were like, "Oh, we need our own popcorn gag." We need a popcorn gag.
Gotta have a big popcorn gag.
Yeah.
And this is several years after Real Genius, right?
Yeah.
About 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But then there's a pretty popular cartoon.
Yeah. When I was watching this, I kept seeing these like parallels with Invader Zim, which, I really, really loved when I was in my like early 20s. For example, the little robot from the movie, I feel is very recognizable in Zim's little, cute, lovable foil, his little robot. They have the same colored eyes, as you can see in this photo that I found like an hour ago. And also, the Martians in the movie and Zim are very, very similar. They're both like small and green and have like the antennas. They kind of have the same look, and like the totally amazing advanced technology coupled with these like bumbling aliens, like that's all there.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we're getting a weather alert.
Yeah, we're having weather here in Austin, Texas. I've already warned all the panelists that there might be some sort of power outage or something.
Oh.
In fact, I'm kind of surprised you guys can't hear it because it is really coming down out there right now. Yeah.
All I can hear right now is my neighbor mowing his lawn. I'm like, dang it.
It kind of sounds the same.
Yeah.
But the last parallel that I saw was the Enforcer robots from Spaced Invaders have kind of the similar vibe to the computer in Invader Zim. Same kind of voice, same kind of menacing presence, although of course in Zim it's like kind of played more for laughs. Also voiced by the creator of Invaders Zim, Jonan Vasquez. That doesn't have anything to do with the movie, but like you start seeing these things and I couldn't help but thinking like, I feel like Vasquez must have seen this movie and either like consciously or not was like, there is a great concept here
Mhm.
and I'm going to do it right. And he did. So, I have to appreciate Spaced Invaders for possibly leading us to Zim. I
Yeah.
couldn't find anywhere on the internet that Vasquez actually mentions this movie. So I don't know.
And-
It just those similarities stack up, and you gotta wonder.
Yeah. And no one's, you couldn't find where anyone had made this connection before.
I mean,
Um,
people mentioned it, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think you see the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, that is my
I'm not really overly familiar with Invader Zim, so
I remember it. I remember hearing the name. I don't think I ever watched it. It might have been just might have been a little too old when it was out.
yeah.
I don't think that's something
Well-
that ever fell directly into my wheelhouse.
Yeah. It was Nickelodeon, right?
It was, and
Yeah.
the strange thing is that, and nobody I knew could like really figure this out at the time, but they asked the creator like if he wanted to make a cartoon for Nickelodeon, if he wanted to make a kids cartoon. Well, he had kind of come into like, niche fame for writing this comic, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, about a guy who like sees shit going wrong in the world and just kills people, and like also like quite popular and pretty good. Not who I would think of for a kids cartoon, but I don't know, somebody thought it would work, and it did.
Well, there's precedent for that.
Sure.
The guy that did Powerpuff Girls was first well known for what was it? No Neck Joe.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
No Neck Joe. I haven't thought about that in a while. That wasn't his only Spike and Mike, was it?
No, but I mean that was what he did the most of.
Yeah.
Is that Shindy Tarkovsky?
No, he's another.
Okay.
He did like Samurai Jack.
Yeah, that's right.
No, McCracken. Craig McCracken was No Neck Joe and Powerpuff Girls.
That's right.
I believe.
Yep, Craig
Yes.
McCracken. Yep.
I was sitting here trying to think of his name and multitasking to not look up anything, but yes, it's McCracken.
It's a miracle I remembered it.
It's a shame Princess Buttercup isn't, or Empress Buttercup isn't here too.
I know.
Yeah.
I
True.
know.
I want to hear
Right
what
here.
Empress Buttercup has to say about this picture.
We're right here in her wheelhouse right now talking about the Powderpuff Girls. Well, she did get in touch with me, and she's having some manner of technical issue. I don't know if weather on our side is somehow playing a part or whatever. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, oftentimes when I'm running one of these streams, I at least have like, one point where like it totally freezes up on my end. And so I was worried about that with all this weather, but that hasn't happened once yet. So
The weather is your friend.
yeah, I guess so. Well, except that maybe robbed us of our friend Buttercup. Buttercup, come back, because now it's time to. Whoop! I lost my light. There we go. Whoop!
So high tech here.
Pumpkinhead, go down the hall and help him.
Now it's
It's beyond
time
my help.
Now it's time to vote.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Hello, Black Lives.
Hello,
it is
Black
so
Lives.
good to see you stopping by. Let me just go ahead and give you a picture of an alien since you just got here. This is what the aliens look like. There they are. Yeah, that one does Jack Nicholson. It's fucking
Sort of.
hilarious.
A lot.
Right. Now you're all caught up.
There goes my insurance.
All right, so we're gonna vote, and as we always do, we're gonna start with the panelist who picked tonight's movie as our first voter. So I'm excited to hear any closing thoughts or just let her rip. I'm ready.
Yeah, this is a thumbs down for me. I think this is the reason we have this show.
Mhm.
I had really fond memories of this movie, and they should have stayed back in 1990 where they belonged. I think that if you saw this movie as a kid and you're thinking of revisiting it, tread with extreme caution. I would just watch Invader Zim instead. I think you'll have a much better experience. The runtime was way too long, and all of the cool things about it, the aliens, the characters, and Lex from Jurassic Park's fucking amazing alien costume that she made herself.
Yeah.
Zorro and his antics, Jim, we haven't even talked about the one animal in this movie, Jim the dog. There are all these great things, but the duck, it just never, it didn't even come close to gelling into like a satisfying experience. So it is a big pass for me.
Big pass, yeah. If you love it, so and I saw this movie once in the movie theater, and I was I guess 14 years old. Yeah, I was 14 years old when I went to go see this, and I really did not remember anything about it. So I was not like coming into this with a fond memory, and kind of sad to hear that the fond memory it's not a reality for Bride of Pumpkinhead. I agree about the ending too. It seems like the movie's about to end, and then it goes on for another 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna move on, I guess.
Or an hour.
I guess we'll move on to Barbara now.
Yeah, I'm going to
See where
echo
we're
those
at.
sentiments
Yeah.
and say no. No, just don't.
Yeah.
Like I can't even think of where it would be a scenario where I would say, yeah, it's good for kids, but no, it's really it goes on a little too long. The jokes all fall just a little too short. There's some small redeemable factors. Makeup and costuming is pretty good. The main alien robot guy is properly menacing. But after that, everything is just sort of, the adults are bumbling, cartoonish. Even the sheriff there's no responsibility in any of them. Poor Doug Barr. I don't know whatever became to him because he's very movie star handsome.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's a flattering picture, by the way.
it's yeah.
He's doing
Yeah,
tight streets.
it's a no.
Mhm.
It's a no. I would not recommend this movie.
He's
It's
responding
pretty
as
rough.
if he's responding as if he just heard you say that. What?
Oh, wait.
Ah,
My leading role.
So sorry. Jack Barr.
oh. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, we're going to move right on along to Mr. Gravy over here. Gravy, did you see this when you were a kid, or you never saw this?
No, I never,
You
saw this. I never saw this, but I do remember when we were watching it, and there's this little gag that they use more than once. They really get some longevity out of this gag,
Yeah.
where they have a hard time getting the spaceship to take off, and it takes off, and then it drops, and it takes off, and then it drops,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh man, that's funny. We should do that
Yeah.
like 5 more times."
Yeah.
And I did remember that from the trailer, and because I remember watching the trailer thinking, "Oh, that's funny," but I remember not thinking when I hate, honestly, like I kind of always had like this feeling that this movie wasn't very good, like, and it isn't. I like I said earlier, I think there were some really clever things with the story. Like I think there was like an inspired first act. I thought it was kind of spunky, kind of funny. And then like acts 2 and 3 are really, really flat. Definitely, I think we all agree the movie needed to end much, much sooner than it did. Yeah, it's total loss.
Total loss.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. We're gonna cut you a
Wow.
check on that one. So do yourself a favor, just like it, like Bride of Pumpkinhead said, if you have a good memory in 1990, you leave it there, you hold on to that, you cherish it, It's like, you guys, I remember I was like the one that said like, "Oh yeah, watch Explorers again, sure, why not?" And then like kind of after watching this and thinking about it, because the rest of you guys were like, "Nah, no." I'm like, "Yeah, you're kind of right."
Yeah. Now that it sat with you a little bit, that like Explorers really isn't that good of a movie.
Yeah,
it kind of bugs you, right? Yeah, you're like,
yeah. So it is like, so like we are kind of trying to do a public service here. We're trying to remember it for you. We're trying to keep you from wasting your time going back to watching something that you're not going to enjoy as much now. So yeah, total loss.
Excellent.
And don't watch Explorers either. Just
you can't rescind your vote, Jeremy.
I know it's stoned.
Well, I think I might have gentler feelings about this movie than you guys, in part because I love the special effects so much, and again, at 1990, movies weren't going to be made like this anymore. And things the change was already like being shot. And one of the things I thought of when I was watching it is I was like, this movie's 100 minutes long. What if you shaved it down to like 80? And I don't necessarily mean like cutting a bunch of scenes, but cutting a lot of this weird, awkward energy, so that even though a lot of your jokes are falling flat, they're still coming at a faster pace, so you can't hate it as much. And like we talked about with the guys in the costume, and they can't see where they're going.
Yeah, they're really literally bumping into each other.
Yeah, it's almost like everyone in the movie has that problem, and all the timing is so awkward, and that poor kid in the duck costume that never takes his beak off. His timing and his delivery is cringeworthy,
Oh, it's bad.
What if you grew up with this movie and you kind of like that kid? That really makes revisiting this, not revisiting this, kind of important in my book. So I have to agree. Like I said, I saw it once, and I don't remember thinking like, oh, it was terrible. I just didn't, I was like, whatever. I was, I didn't have much of an impression on it. I never had any reason to not revisit it. Just never really came up. But yeah, I probably could have left that. Although I am glad to have seen those special effects. They're kind of cool. Yeah, if you just sped up the beat, that's really all you needed to do. Yeah.
I think if you just like stop watching the movie altogether after the Orson Welles like playback ends, like you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. They do get back to the DJ, and it's it's not that great of a scene when they get back to it.
No, it's
But,
terrible.
Yeah. But listen, Mick, don't be afraid to like this movie. I don't want you to think we've just we won't think anything less of you. Please feel free to vote however you.
So I had not seen this movie.
Mhm.
I honestly barely knew of its existence.
Mhm.
It was not what I was expecting it to be going in. Which, for some reason, I thought maybe there's going to be drugs. Because there's space.
Oh, right. Yeah, like it's a drug, like they're.
But
they're
if it had been, I
aliens
probably
or-
would have seen it. So
Yeah.
Drugs
Maybe you
might have
just
helped.
should. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
Yeah.
if you had been on drugs, it might.
well, I was. And I was smoking a lot of weed when I watched this movie, and it did
Mhm.
not help.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Although I will say, I think I probably liked it more than most of you.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't hate it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's correct. Don't do
Like,
it.
I am not going to revisit this movie as an adult
No.
watching it either.
No.
Once was enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you're right.
hang on to those good memories. If you've never seen it, if you have nothing better to do, and you've
Yeah,
seen
and-
everything else that you could see,
You've seen every other film. No demand.
otherwise I've seen a lot worse movies,
Mhm. Yeah,
and I
I've
think
definitely seen it.
that's
it's true.
more worth doing sometimes.
Mhm.
A really bad movie, I can get into
Yeah.
how bad it is. It was all right.
Yeah. You make a great point there. Like this movie, there's not that much trivia or information about it out there. But I did wonder if maybe in its infant stages, this was a rated R script. This was, or just perhaps a movie meant more for adults. And then
I bet you're onto something there. There were probably boobies, Martians and boobies at some point in the original drawing, narrative. It was the late 80s,
I've never watched Twilight.
Now, I have yet to watch Twilight. There's part of me that kind of wants to do it,
Mhm.
just because.
Just
I
don't.
watched one of them. Yeah, I think I watched Twilight, and it's better than this movie.
I think I've actually seen all of them, but none of them are good.
Right, but sometimes that's fun.
I'm surprised. I mean, I guess just like those movies really felt like the anti-Jeff, and so it's difficult for me to think of people being like, "Yeah, I watched it on purpose. It wasn't, I wasn't strapped to a chair."
Nobody clockwork oranged me into doing this.
Make it stop.
But I think it's one of the things I think is really interesting about this vote is that we are unanimous in not recommending it, which is the first time that's happened on this show. We've been unanimous in recommending it several times, but we've never universally said, "No, wait, Jose."
Well, you're welcome.
And this, so thank you for bringing us together. And this is one of the few films we've watched that made good money. I want to say this budget was somewhere in the range of like 3 or 4 million. I can't remember the numbers exactly, but it's pulling in somewhere like a lot more, like 15, 20, 22, somewhere in that range. I remember seeing those numbers and being like, wow, good job, Space Invaders, for some reason.
Yeah, they pulled a Roger Corman, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you know, like I said, I was 14 when it came out, so I remember the ad campaign, and they did advertise this fairly aggressively when it came out in the theater. So critics hated it. I don't know why. We ran in last night. Pumpkinhead ran into a good friend of ours, Rob, who I like to sell VHS tapes with and talk about movies, forever. And he, what did he say?
He said that he hated it as a kid, and when he rented it, it made his father viscerally angry to watch it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. Would a fair gotten cocaine mirror and an 8-ball help while watching this picture?
Yeah, I mean, I think by and large, cocaine's going to help any movie, right? Unless it's just so fucking slow you can't,
Yeah.
But for the most part,
that may have been where it started.
Yeah. I think maybe
somebody's fever dream.
Oh, do you mean watching or you mean in production?
Watching.
Oh, okay, because it definitely could have used a little more coke in production, no doubt about that.
Everybody was in recovery by the time they started making this picture.
Yeah, but because this movie, if this movie was way worse, I think I would like it more. If it came off the wheels at the end, because it kind of does. But if it really unspooled, then maybe I would like it a little bit more.
I'd love a train wreck.
Yeah.
Give me a train wreck. That's watchable.
Train wrecks are great. So there you go. When a movie makes money, we don't like it. We don't like that. Making money.
Black Ledge, maybe a remake is in order.
Yeah.
I was thinking a remake would be in order. They keep remaking good movies for no reason.
Yeah, right? Yeah, what is up with that?
Be
they remake a good movie and it sucks.
Yes, that's what I've always said. I'm like, if you guys want to really impress me, take a really bad movie and
make it good
to make it fantastic.
Well, that's it's like when John Carpenter made his version of The Thing. He took a movie that he truly loved, and it wasn't a bad film, but it wasn't a great film either. And he made it a great film.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
although nobody liked
really
it when it came out.
It wasn't very successful, right?
No, not at all.
No, it was kind of a flop when it came out. Nobody liked it. But I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of his best movies.
What blows me away is that the critics hated it. The critics panned the thing.
I think it's awesome that I've watched John Carpenter's The Thing with my kids and they love it. They think it's absolutely fantastic. I've talked to people from all kinds of age groups, just randomly, and I'll mention that movie and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that movie. That movie's fucking awesome."
I watched it with Wilfred Brimley.
Wow.
It was the first time he had seen it.
Wow.
He didn't like it.
He
really?
Didn't like it?
No.
He didn't like it?
No. But he does
Maybe
not
his diabetes was acting up that day.
He does not like Rubber Monster movies.
Mm.
And that's a quote. I don't
Yeah,
like movies
yeah.
with rubber monsters.
I do.
Well, how did he
Me
feel
too.
about Cocoon? You know, because that was like that had a rubber something in it. You know,
Are we
giant
going to have to
rubber.
watch Cocoon now?
Only if someone has fond memories of it. Are you?
We
are
watched
you-
it several times. You know, that was like one of those movies. We watched it several times.
Because it
Yeah.
was on.
Yeah, because it was
there.
on.
It was there.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's generally what HBO was. Is like they took the movies that were real expensive but didn't do so well at the box office and play the shit out of them. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what the math is there. I guess the studio's bombs are just cheaper for HBO to buy access to than their really successful movies. You know, like who knows? Yeah,
Fun
who knows
fact:
how that
I
works.
have never seen Cocoon.
I haven't either.
Hey,
It's
not just me.
Steve Gutenberg and oh yeah, see, you're upsetting the dog.
I'm so sorry.
Those are good.
No,
those
I'm
are
sorry.
sorry.
those are good instincts. Those are good instincts for that dog to have right there. He's like,
We won't get any older, and we'll never die.
dude, old men sing about their boners in Cocoon. We're not watching Cocoon.
They sing about them?
They sing about their boners because they're senior citizens, but
And they only have fond memories of them.
no, the presence of the aliens gives them
Boners.
Oh,
it does give them boners.
well, now I feel like I need to watch it.
Yeah. There
Are
we
the
go.
aliens played by puppets?
And their sex intention with the puppets.
And there's Steve Gutenberg.
Before there was Viagra, there was
Guys,
Aliens.
if all the aliens did was give them boners and that's all they talked about, I would definitely recommend Cocoon. However,
There is a porno where that is the premise.
Yeah. What is it called? Capoon?
Oh, snap. Capoon.
I used to do this shit for a living.
Cocoon.
Cocoon!
Doesn't Steve Gutenberg have sex with one of the aliens?
Yes. Steve Gutenberg
Like she
has
takes
sex.
her skin off
Yeah.
and they bone.
Well, she turns into light, right? She takes the human skin off. And,
Yeah.
Oh man, but it's not all boners. That's just one little scene where they're joking about it, and like, why do you want to see Don Amiche and Wilford Brimley joke about boners anyway? Like, if that is really your thing, then you should check out Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men, and if you survive. We'll have you on the show to talk about it. I'm not going to watch it, but yeah.
And
Yeah.
an awful, shameful secret. I saw both of those in the theater. Ah,
I think I stopped
know my
after Grumpy.
shame.
I saw Grumpy Old Man.
We went to the dollar. We were like, playing hooky or whatever, and a friend of mine and I went to the dollar movies, and we watched like the first 20 minutes of Grumpier Old Men. And when we got to like this bathtub scene, we were like, I'm fucking out of here. And that was the day we learned that dollar theaters did not adhere to the refund policy.
Oh,
that
No.
other movie
No, they
theaters
do not.
do. No. If you are, no matter how upset you are about Grumpier Old Men, in retrospect, should have known better.
Yeah.
You do not get your dollar back.
There was only one time I walked out of Studio 35 because I was like, I cannot watch this movie, and that was Little Rascals.
Mm-hmm.
We made it
Yeah.
about 15 minutes into the Little Rascals, and we just looked at each other
Yeah.
like we're not doing this. Not.
It was the second feature. Like
Yeah.
Studio 35 used to do 2 movies for $2, and it was the second of 2 movies. And yeah, we left. Yeah, tried to see how much we could do. Couldn't do much. And I've actually been told that that's actually a worthwhile movie. So I'll have a hard time believing that, but maybe I'll check it out sometime. And since we're talking about lots of different movies and movie titles, we're throwing shit out there. We have Barbara's turn if you want to take it to pick out. I know it seems just like yesterday, but it is actually we're back around to your turn again.
Well, let's bring it back full circle. I actually thought about this ahead of time, and since we've touched on all of these subjects today, I'm going to give you a couple of choices, and I'll let it. I will go whichever way you guys decide. But one is the Madonna Cocaine Mirror, Desperately Seeking Susan.
Oh.
Or Elvira Cutout, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I wanna watch
man.
that.
Oh man.
Or
watch them both.
I have seen Desperately Seeking Susan within the relative in adulthood.
I don't think I've seen it since the theater, since I saw it in 1985.
Wow.
So, and I was a huge Madonna fan then. So yeah, I definitely saw it in the theater, but I don't think I've seen it since then.
I have not. I saw it in the theater.
You saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
I can tell you which one I'm gravitating towards, but I do want to hear all the choices.
Well, I mean, I've also thought about this movie called Soap Dish, which has an all-star cast, and I saw it in the theater once, and it was very funny in the theater. I don't know how well it plays off, but it's got Sally Field, Kevin Kline, Whoopi Goldberg, Elizabeth Shue, Robert Downey Jr., Carrie Fisher, Gary Marshall, Terry Hatcher. What's the
Carrie, Gary, and Terry?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is a caboodle, man.
I can nary believe it.
Who's the blonde bombshell actress from Raging Bull? Moriarty? No.
Kathy Moriarty.
Yes.
Moriarty.
Yes. I have those three, or you can choose another movie that came out in 1990 called Quick Change with Bill Murray.
Now, Quick Change I've never seen. Yeah.
Quick Change stars Bill Murray, Gina Davis, Jason Robards, and Randy Quaid. And Bill Murray, Gina Davis, and Randy Quaid team up to rob a bank in Midtown, in Midtown Manhattan. And Jason Robards is the detective who's trying to catch them.
That's another one I haven't seen since it came out.
Yeah.
What was that called again, Barbara?
Quick Change.
Quick Change. Yeah, with Bill Murray. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have not seen Quick Change, but I do remember it tanking.
Yeah.
Like it was not popular.
No, it was not.
At all.
No.
But you liked it.
I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, it had some very funny minutes in it and some very funny moments in it where I actually laughed out loud. So yeah, I did remember kind of liking it, but nobody else I know has ever heard of it.
Well, I'm gonna say that is not in the spirit of the show. Just
Okay.
because you only liked it a little bit.
Yeah, we do like to try and focus on the ones that
Okay.
but it's. I mean, I am definitely intrigued by it. There's no.
I'm
denying that.
intrigued by it because I thought, what if I went back and watched it? Would I like it any
Yeah.
better?
I
Yeah,
have
that's a good
semi-fond
question.
memories of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, same. Semi fond.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
I think-
it looks bizarre. I got to tell you, I've never seen it.
Hmm.
So out of those
Never
four,
even
what
heard
was
it.
the one that you liked the most?
Me?
Yes, you.
Soap dish.
Soap dish.
But I'm totally willing for
I have
Desperately
fond
Seeking
memories of
Susan
Soap
or
Dish, and
Elvira,
I haven't
because
seen
I
it since it
do
came
have
out.
fond memories of both.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it. It was a movie that, like, when I was a kid, I would have avoided like the plague.
Yes.
I'd be
And-
curious to watch it for sure.
But I watched soap operas
Yes.
as a
I
young
did
man.
too.
So
I did too.
we used to watch soap operas in my dorm in college, in fact. Well, one.
Which one?
All my children.
Oh. See, I
Every-
wasn't on my children. I
Man,
was
you
strung
guys
out
were
on all
taking
the
Quaaludes, weren't you?
I was strung out on all of the ABC soaps for a while, but then I eventually moved on to Days of Our Lives. So, but
This Quick
Yeah,
Change movie does look insane, I gotta say. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Soap
we
Dish
got-
was I don't know. I did see it in the theater. The theater was packed, and everybody laughed their heads off at it. But I don't think I've ever gone back and revisited it.
Ooh. What year was that
So-
one again?
I want to say early 91.
91. Okay.
I think that was a pretty successful comedy.
Yeah.
Was it?
it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Desperately Seasoned Susan came out in 85. Elvira came out in 88. Quick Change was 1990. And then Soap Dish was 91.
Gotcha. Well, I could tell you that I believe that I'm most intrigued by Desperately Seeking Susan.
Okay.
Just from my perspective, like I remember that being such a sensation,
Yes.
and my perspective was like, ugh, gross. I'm sure it's dumb, and I want to say that I have seen it like on cable at some point in very early in my life, but it's hard to say. I feel like I have, like maybe like I had to
might have
watch it
seen
with
it when
yeah.
it did an HBO type of premiere or something like that. But I really don't remember seeing it any other time outside of the theater.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think I'm most intrigued by that. I will say that Elvira, Mistress of the Dark is a movie I have revisited a couple times as an adult. Nothing too recently.
Yeah, it's been a
And-
while for me.
yeah.
I've seen it as an
Yeah.
adult, but it's been a while.
Yeah, and
But I'm pretty sure I already know how I will vote. So
right.
that
That's-
takes some of
that's-
the fun out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I'm pretty sure I know how I'd feel about that movie. But yeah, all four of those are very tempting, very interesting. I think for me, I'm probably most interested in the Madonna movie, Desperately Seeking Susan.
I would
Just-
definitely be down for seeing Desperately again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it was just such a phenomenon. It wasn't just that Madonna was like getting popular. That was a huge freaking movie, and I'm sure it made a ton of money because like
Madonna.
yeah, and it couldn't have cost very much. It doesn't look like a particular.
It doesn't look like it costs a
No,
lot of money.
not much really happens in Desperately Seeking Susan. It's
It's a
you know,
pretty it's a pretty basic plot line from what I
Oh, yeah.
remember.
Yeah, and it's just a character driven. I mean, it could be a play.
Yeah. Oh, when did you last see it, Gravy?
It's been a while, but
Mhm.
my wife loves Desperately Seeking Susan.
Ah,
And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure I watched it with her. I think. I mean, it's crazy. Like, kids really time travel you. I tell you, because
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but
You're like, it wasn't that long ago. It's just,
but it was like
it was our
20 years
first date. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago. I just saw it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it was like we were hanging out at her place at Crestview and we watched it like 20 years
Wow.
ago. I just saw
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Well, what do you think, Pumpkinhead?
I've never seen it. Always
Never?
kind of
Oh,
meant
wow.
to. Yeah, never. When
Well,
it
I
came
think-
out, I was pretty young. May have still been a baby. And yeah, actually, there was a screening of it at one of our local library branches, like within the past few months, and I really wanted to go and had a conflict. So I feel like it's coming up again. So I'm like definitely
Okay.
gravitating toward it now.
Well, then now that's what we're watching. We're watching
Yeah.
Desperately Seeking Susan.
Sweet.
Hell
right.
yes.
Yes. All right. That gub you like is coming back in style. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, man. Madonna, Patricia Arquette, it's happening.
Oh, yeah. It's Patricia Arquette.
Patricia
Oh, great.
Arquette's in it.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Oh, man. She's going to look like a little kid, man. Whoa.
She is very
she's
young in
very
this movie.
young in
Yeah.
this movie.
That's going to be crazy. Yeah. Are there any, like, I mean, I'm not even looking at a cast list, but do we have any, like, character actors or any, like, villains, anything like that?
Oh,
that
who's the
stands
guy
out?
who played the boyfriend?
It's not Andrew McCarthy, is it? It's,
No.
no, it's
No.
God, who is it? I mean, you guys will recognize this guy.
Yeah,
so I
you
can't
would.
remember his name.
Aidan Quinn.
Mm.
Aidan Quinn.
Oh, it is Aiden Quinn.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you
My
also
wife-
get a young
My wife
John
is also a
Turturro.
big Aiden Quinn fan. She loves Aiden Quinn.
Yes, you also get a young John Turturro.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
neat.
like a
That's
I'm
cool.
like a D-rate Aiden Quinn. That's why my wife married me.
Okay, I was right. I almost said something. It is not Patricia Arquette.
It's not Patricia Arquette.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
It
is it
her
Rose?
sister,
Oh, it's
Rosanna Arquette.
Roseanne
Rosanna
Arquette. Oh,
Arquette,
that's
yeah.
right. Okay, yeah. I get it mixed up.
The girl who has a Toto song written about her.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's written about her?
Yes.
That's a little, I mean, the Toto's older than her, right? It's a little skeevy, isn't it?
I mean, it was about dating Rosanna Arquette.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not looking at their, I'm not looking at their stats. It just sounds a little,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Toto's only had one good song.
They did a hell of a soundtrack for Dune, though.
Yeah, Steve Lukather does some good soundtrack music, but I could live without ever hearing Africa again.
It's crazy
trying to
how
think of what their
popular
one-
it is now.
I'm trying to predict what your one good song by them is, because it's not like they only have a couple singles. They have
Really?
several.
Oh yeah, they were quite popular.
Yeah. Well, just go ahead and tell me. Just go
Oh,
ahead and tell me.
it's Hold the Line.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
It's got that really good guitar riff in it.
Da,
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 da, da,
da.
da.
Love isn't always on time. Oh,
No,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no.
whoa. And yeah, I always growing up.
That is
for
a
some
really
reason,
good song.
growing
And
up
I
for
was a
some
line
reason.
cook when it came out, so it was very popular in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because we were working on the line and hold the line. It was.
It's motivational.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like I was telling my wife. There's like that song "Life in the Fast Lane." Not a great song, but I have fond memories because when it came out, I was working on the giant slide at the amusement park.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
the fast lane, that synergy. You gotta like that song if you're working on a slide.
Hell yeah. I love the giant slide.
No,
Black Lives.
I can tell you slide stories, my friend.
Black
So
Lives,
many
you know,
slide stories.
this stream has to go on for another hour or so before I'm going to sing more than that. I'm flattered, though. Flattered.
Improved productivity with Toto.
Yes.
For all of your enterprise server needs.
Mm-hmm. They also make toilets.
And how?
So we're gonna do Desperately Seeking Susan.
Desperately Seeking
Okay.
Susan. I'm very excited about this.
I will start
And,
desperately seeking Susan.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, do we have any, any parting words for this poor man here? Don't,
I'm a
don't
duck.
Don't quit your day job.
Don't eat the
All
popcorn.
right. Yeah.
Don't eat the popcorn.
Dude, do not eat that popcorn. Nasty. Nasty. All right. Well, thank you, puppets. You made another lovely episode of Total Recall. So, if there's one thing we can always, I don't know if there's any puppets in Desperately Seeking Susan. We're going to find out. Could be a dream
I'll
sequence.
remember.
Yeah.
Tuckalingus.
Duckalingus.
Mm.
Duckalingus.
Mm.
The Wingalingus.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
Oh, sorry.
getting the dogs all worked up now.
I know they've had
All
enough
right.
of this show.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank our panelists, of course, and I also want to thank Black Lives and Common People and Adam for coming out, and Empress Buttercup, if you're listening, we miss you, and hopefully, whatever this technical issue is, we can. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I was expecting Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, Jeremy does a pretty good Arnold. Let her rip. Oh, he's busy.
Oh.
Sorry.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a great time talking about this movie, even if we can't recommend it. So, anyone still with us, if you're thinking, Space Invaders, how is it? It's a big old thumbs down. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah. And we're telling that because we love you and we want you to have a good time. So, from everyone here at Total Recall, thanks again for joining us, and good night.
Good night.
Rock on.
Adios.
See y'all.